People who cheated on their significant other. What happened? After 6 years of marriage, I broke every promise I ever made to my husband. It wasn't planned. It started with innocent messages to an old high school friend who reached out during my lowest point. James and I were barely speaking at home. His promotion meant 70-hour work weeks, coming home just to shower and sleep. I was teaching kindergarten while trying to finish my master's degree. We were like ships passing in the night, exhausted but never taking the time to really see each other anymore. The loneliness crept in slowly. I'd cook dinners that went cold, start conversations that faded into silence. Our king-size bed felt impossibly vast with him sleeping on the far edge, his back to me every night. One night, I broke down crying after James canceled our anniversary dinner for a client meeting. That's when Tom messaged me about our 10-year high school reunion. Remember Mr. Peterson's chemistry class? Still can't look at a Bunsen burner without thinking about your eyebrows. He was referring to the time I singed my eyebrows before prom. I laughed for the first time in weeks, but started as catching up quickly became daily messages. Tom was going through a divorce, and talking to someone who was hurting too made me feel less alone. He remembered details about my life that James seemed to have forgotten: how I take my coffee, my favorite books, the dreams I'd had in high school. 2 months of text turned into coffee at a shop across town. I told myself it was innocent, just friends reconnecting. I even mentioned it to James, who nodded without looking up from his laptop. Coffee turned into dinner the following week. I wore a dress James had never seen, put on makeup for the first time in months. Dinner became lingering touches, his hand on mine. The conversation flowed effortlessly, filling the silence I'd grown accustomed to. When he walked me to my car, the rain started. We ran laughing under the same jacket, and then something shifted. It happened only once, in his car with the windows fogged. I hated myself immediately afterward. The guilt consumed me. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. My students asked why Ms. Reynolds looked so sad. I ended things with Tom the next day, blocked his number, but the damage was done. The weight of my betrayal felt physical, like stones in my pockets. I knew I had to tell James everything. I spent a week rehearsing my confession, planning for every reaction. That Sunday, I made his favorite breakfast: blueberry pancakes, crispy bacon, fresh coffee. I thought this might be our last meal together in the home we built. When he sat down, coffee cups between us like a fragile barrier, he spoke first. "I need to tell you something," he said, voice breaking. "I've been seeing someone else." My world collapsed. As James explained, I realized his affair had started the exact same week as mine, but his wasn't with a stranger or an old friend. It was with my sister, the person I'd confided in about my failing marriage, the person who'd hugged me as I cried about James's distance. She had been sleeping with my husband for months. Every Sunday when she dropped by to bring me coffee was just an excuse. While I was grading papers in the kitchen, they were sneaking moments in our guest bedroom. The pancakes hit the wall first, then a mug shattered against the refrigerator. We screamed until our voices gave out, threw things, said unforgivable things. The neighbors called the police, who stood awkwardly in our living room surrounded by shattered picture frames and 6 years of broken trust. The next morning, I found divorce papers on the kitchen counter. James had moved to a hotel. My sister wasn't answering my calls. My parents were confused, devastated, trying to understand how their daughters had imploded this way. I sat on our kitchen floor drinking wine straight from the bottle, surrounded by the ruins of what I thought was my life.